Good evening. This is Cara Coffey with the Ministry of Uncover No More. This is going to be Generation X number 7, I believe. Yeah, because the full stops, I started at 144 this time for the 144,000 on Uncover No More because it got cleared out, and that was a little strange, and I'm not going to talk about it because I asked the king on purpose on YouTube, like submitted it to him. I basically, all I said is I don't know what he's going to want me to do with this blog, and so there was some metaphysical things that happened with my Uncover No More blog, and it got thinned out really fast. And I don't share. I'm alluding to it because you need to understand he's in charge. He's taking me out of being targeted. I've had 2 naps today. I've produced, this is my 4th YouTube. Went to my coffee shops this morning. Read books, did poetry work. It's all beautiful. I'm still terrified at times that I'm going to get attacked. That's just mild panic attacks. You don't know what my mild panic attacks are any more than you know what my major ones are, because I've been at this for 14 years. And so I just want to encourage you with that. Practice your new life. Not in Christ, your new life, period, because, we're in the New Jerusalem. I'm lighting a candle. I'll show you. This one has got mahogany and vetiver. I think that's how you say it. In it. So, Cara, are you bragging? No. I was destroyed as a Christian. So were you. You're just as productive as I am. You're just used to hating yourself. If I don't brag, quote unquote, to you, just telling you about my life, it's true. I'm Aries. I'm a type A personality. If I don't work, I talk too much. If people around me are tending to be negative or they're hurting and stuff, I'm going to channel that energy. It hurts me. It gets me down. I need sunshine. Sometimes I need the rain. Sometimes I need the coffee shop. Sometimes I need to just be by myself. Sometimes I'm terrified because, will I do it wrong again? And people start screaming at me again. Aren't you terrified of that in this society? Well, let's try to buck up America, because I honestly think our people are doing better than, say, people in China, and they're still dealing with outright communism, y'all. Have you read about the house church movement and how persecuted they are? You Christians, y'all are pulling shit. You're just totally not focusing on the right things, but I'm not going to talk about that. You're not involved with the success of the King of Kings in the life of the Uncover No More by Cara Coffey. You're not involved with that. You've been left behind. You're not getting it, or your social media would. You can change your social media. Joe Rogan, you're one of them. I'll pick on you just a minute. Okay, you can change your social media in 2 seconds. Joel Osteen, you can change the course of your church structures. I'll pick on you too. There's a big old mega church there going to San Antonio. God, I can't even remember, because I can barely stand these people. They're white boys that just used to get in their own way and making too much money, leading people astray left and right with all their stupid doctrine. I am a person who wasn't allowed to read anything primarily but the Bible, Christian curriculum, and I can appreciate the protection that I had, but I have scars in my life because one of my kids was joking with me. They feel bad about how hit I got, and so we're coming back together, and we are starting to laugh about our experiences, but it's like, you tore down God to us. Well, I tore down God Father, because that's not God Father, what Christians are teaching. It's bullshit. Control, cultishness. It's in Revelation 13. You people how you use the Bible. Well, I've moved on. So evidently, this is a Bible given to Curtis and I because we did youth group. I'd still love to do youth group. I can't step foot in Christian churches. They're all so ugly right now. Okay, so evidently I read this October 12th, 2021. Well, it's going to be read again. This is Psalm 74. This is all in my Double Moons Prayer Initiative in my third book. My whole publisher's been destroyed. This is just everywhere. And I'm still appealing to God Father because God Father doesn't deserve the rap that Christians and Muslims and everybody are putting on that fey tale, the unseen God. They don't, the real deity God guys. I'm a deity God girl. There's many of us. I am one of the lesser ones. I don't have a public ministry like Nina Turner, Bernice King, who I have said, you need to follow these women. You need to listen to them. And you need to have white skin. The black people already appreciate them. Okay, these are very real voices of change. Moon goddesses like me. I'm held down because of my testimony about the man who needs a private life that I don't even know. Okay? They're not held down that way. You didn't listen to me any better. And matter of fact, when Donald Trump got in the White House, that very month, my Christian publisher was taken under. Now, that's real Christians. Because let me tell you, Tate Publishing, they could see that I was under attack. They were reading my manuscripts going, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Oh, my gosh. And they kept publishing for me, even though that whole publisher went down. In Oklahoma, same month Trump sat in the White House. And if you think that wasn't planned, then you're one of the people that doesn't believe that January 6th was an insurrection. Go fuck yourself. You're a monster. You're looking at things in a way that is just ridiculous. You're one of the people that I want to say the Constitution is meaningless, and I've already said that. There's a bunch of us upholding the beauty of the Constitution, but recognizing that it began as a very racist, sexist document. We're the ones in real life that are having to clean that document up. Now, you don't have to do that in the Bible. It's an evolving book. The King of Kings, every red letter word he uttered is eternal. Those concepts are eternal. Whether or not you understand them is not his business, literally. It's somewhat mine, as his little sister, Tribe Judah elect. And I just released a teaching about what a eunuch actually is, according to Matthew 19. I'm 100% accurate. There ain't a pastor like Joel Osteen, Bobby Conn, or Rick Joyner. Ain't a pastor in this town, that this town of the United States of America that's white-skinned that'll sit down and listen to Cara Coffey and push that narrative. No. And I'm pushing the narrative of the King of Kings, point blank. They won't do it. Cowards. You're cowards. Now, this is Psalm 74, and I put it in gold. This is the Bible that was given to Curtis and I because we were with youth group. Here's what I wrote today, okay? Interactive song list. Purity by Christopher Lebled. Christophe Lebled. I don't speak French, so I don't know how to say it. Psalm 74, semicolon. Robert Browning's Evelyn Hope, which is already on a blog. That was one of the two poems. Semicolon. The Silmarillions, Chapter 5, and Ulmo. 4/24/2022. Leviathan is tamed. That's me. Now, I was saying I'm not going to put poetry and stuff on my YouTube. What I actually was saying, which is a delight to me today, because this is my 4th video, I'm going to weave different manuscripts. Now, this one is ancient. This Tolkien's is not, but it will be, and it's part of the Bible. And I've already stated that on blogs, but I think that blog may be gone because I had to take down some of the blogs because I just don't have time for certain slants. That's my choice. and I've chosen, and I think I pared my blogs down quite a bit. Okay. JRR Tolkien's The Silmarillion, Chapter 5 of Eldamar and the Princes of the Eldali. And I'm sorry, I've already apologized, I will just do it every time. I do not speak Tolkien's language very well. And I wrote, may the flowers of sea come forth to dwell safely. There's many beautiful flowers in the ocean floors. And here's the quote. Now, Ulmo, by the counsel of the Valar, came to the shores of Middle-earth and spoke with the Eldar and waited there, gazing on the dark waves. And because of his words and the music which he made for them on his horns of shell, their fear of the sea was turned rather to desire. Therefore Ulmo uprooted an island which long had stood alone amid the sea, far from either shore, since the tumults of the fall of Illuian, and with the aid of his servants he moved it, as it were a mighty ship, and anchored it in the bay of Balar, into which Sirion poured his water. That's Revelation 22. I've got tattoo coloring book beauty associated with this. I guess I better pull it out and put it in this chapter's work. I drew the rune Inguz. I did not put a date on this one. I'm starting to not do the date, which means it's a timeless piece, which is a privilege. A lot of us do this kind of thing in artwork. So I'm privileged to actually be able to display it on the internet so that people can, if you touch mine, you'll touch yours maybe. But if you feel shame, don't give in to it. I have felt shame many times because of professionals. You need to understand I gave up my career. And I have been bullied for it. I've been controlled monetarily and blamed for things I didn't do. Lost my whole inheritance, so I do know what you're going through because I've been through it. I've scraped up my self-dignity so many times after being bullied that I give my artwork away because it is glorious to me, a part of me, and the part that I actually want remembered. I don't want anybody to remember the woman that everybody was tearing down. You wouldn't either if you were me. I will go a little stronger with that. The king's not going to allow that for his Tribjadalek sister. Neither my brother, who's back. Go figure. It's kind of like what I pointed out, because I still have people being negative about my children to my face, and I'm like, time out. I had a hard time with some of my children. If any child has a hard time with your parent expressing that they're having a hard time with you, or that they long to get together and reconcile things, if you have a problem with that, that's your problem. Your parent loves you. And I need children, young people, millennials and Gen Z, to stop and think about how you're treating people who actually love you very much. We may not be perfect in it, but we do. And you tear us up. You do. You tear us up. And then you don't come back. You just expect us to accept it and walk off. And I'm still deeply, deeply hurt by y'all's generations. And you do not care. You literally do not care. And I need to move away from that because the king does care about me. So I guess the rest of you don't count anymore. And I'm not ashamed. But I pulled Inguz, fertile dwelling in much peace. Maybe someday you'll reconcile with somebody knowing that you destroyed me. And I hope you're crying because you lost me. And that's final. I have no more to give to humankind that persecuted me. I have a life to live, and it's solitary. I can't do this anymore. What I can do is weave ancient and older good works of literature and bring the Bible back the way it's supposed to be brought back in dignity. How much dignity did the King of Kings lose hanging on a cross for you? Is how much dignity I will always restore to ancient works. As to you being bullied, I'm very sorry for it. I hope you find an island like Ulmo saw to and is saying to, because you see, he was moving his people away from Leviathan. And it is very much Psalm 74, chapter 5's work of the Silmarillion is Psalm 74 in real life. So I'm going to read it again. I just read you a piece of this Silmarillion. So I've already published this piece, so this YouTube will go there. Okay. Psalm 74. O God, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doth thine anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt. Let me be clear. Until Israel stops attacking Palestine, I will be a testimony against Israel with the King of Kings. It's the Republicans in the United States. I could go on and on and on telling you who it is in each country. So don't fuck with me. I'm Tribe Judah elect. So when I read this to you, you damn well better listen to it the old-fashioned way. When I read it to my children and the children of those generations that have a heart of humility, like my children do, we've made mistakes, all of us. We're coming back as best as we can, as slowly as we need to come back to each other. And I will encourage that in every family across every last one of the nations that I will deal with and am dealing with every day, just like you are. So, let me be clear, when I read it, it's only in the New Jerusalem for the King of Kings. I'm not reading to anybody else, except my brother, who's back and faithful. I may never see them in their true body forms on this side. That isn't the point. Now, is it? What is the point in my private life is none of your business. What is the point in our public lives together as Tribe Judah elect is mine. Gospel for Asia is right here with me, Tribe Judah elect. Lift up thy feet unto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy hath done wickedly in the sanctuary. Thine enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. A man was famous according as he lifted up axes upon the thick trees, but now they break down the carved work thereof at once with axes and hammers. This is literally happening. They have cast fire into the sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land. Again, this is literally happening. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. In that, I discharge. You have my blogs. All of my blogs are a sign. All of my social media are a sign of the New Jerusalem. All of my writing, even that which perished in my edit, because it was so beautifully being wiped away as the King of Kings wiped my tears away. and Father God and Mother God in the unseen world. Okay. O God, how long shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, even thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom. You see, Father and I have a bit of a conversation going on. This is Lilith, my loves. She is mystery. Yes, I can enter the Fey Tale of Psalms. I have no problem doing that. And Tolkien's work. You know who Lilith is. So do I. For God is my King of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the waters. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces, and gavest him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. And Ulmo is doing it in Tolkien's writings. Thou didst cleave the fountain in the flood. Thou driest up mighty rivers. The day is thine, the night also is thine. Thou hast prepared the light and the sun. Thou hast set all the borders of the earth. Thou hast made summer and winter. Remember this, that the enemy hath reproached, O Lord. And that's Lord in all capitals. There's no male or female in that. And that the foolish people have blasphemed thy name. O deliver not the soul of thy turtle dove unto the multitude of the wicked. Forget not the congregation of thy poor forever. Not in those churches. We're not talking to you. You are not the poor. Have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitations of cruelty. O let not the oppressed return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise thy name. Arise, O God, plead thine own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproacheth thee daily. Forget not the voice of thine enemies. The tumult of those that rise up against thee increaseth continually.